Well, I'm back for the third installment of the Bathrobe Chronicles. Tonight I want to talk a few minutes about, well, folks who drink too much. Alcoholics, we call them. Drunks, we call them. I think there's something that I would refer to as labeling, and I'm sure there's a scientific term that I'm not familiar with, and I'm sure that the social science fellows and psychologists and all might have a more esoteric definition. But for my purposes, we label someone when we judge them or make comments about them or something like that. Uncle Harry is an alcoholic. So I, whomever, has now labeled Uncle Harry as an alcoholic. A couple of things here. First off, what's an alcoholic? Have you ever actually thought about it? We throw this term around, but I don't think many of us have sat down and said, what does it actually mean when someone is an alcoholic? What the heck is it? I think it's a term that I don't particularly like to use. If someone's having a problem with booze, then why don't we say that they have a drinking problem, or alcohol, or whatever is causing a problem in their lives, instead of this label. What happens when we label someone an alcoholic? There are three outcomes that I know of. One, the person is indignant, says, screw you, I'm not an alcoholic, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's one response. Second response, maybe the person says, gee whiz, maybe I have been drinking too much. And this person might sit down and think about it. Gosh, And then there's the third one. This is the good one. This is the one, Uncle Harry's an alcoholic, and now all of a sudden, Uncle Harry is special, because Uncle Harry is an alcoholic. And Uncle Harry, whether he's an alcoholic or not, whatever alcoholic means, may all of a sudden start playing the role of the alcoholic. In other words, Uncle Harry no longer has to be responsible for anything because Uncle Harry is an alcoholic. The old relative might say, oh, did you know what happened the other night? No, what happened? Uncle Harry, he beat the hell out of Aunt Sue again. Uncle Harry's an alcoholic. So someone who starts taking on this persona, that's a poor choice of words, but whatever, of the alcoholic, and starts playing the role, so to speak, of what society at times has said an alcoholic is. I mean, this person really isn't looking to solve any of their problems or to get their drinking under control. Then there's the old argument of it's a disease. Well, come on. I think that's an insult to people who have diabetes, heart disease, kidney failure, and all the other horrible, horrible diseases out there. These people can't get rid of that disease by stopping something. If alcoholism, to use that word, is a disease, all you have to do is stop drinking and it goes away, doesn't it? I'm kind of confused about that one. But anyway, I would prefer, or I feel as though someone who problem drinks, or who is an alcoholic, if you want to use that term, it's behavior. It's bad behavior. They're making bad decisions. By saying they have a disease, we're saying, gee whiz, you're just like the poor folks who have cancer. And they aren't, period. In another segment, I'm going to talk about AA, but I wanted to save that for another segment, not this one. But the long and the short of it is this, is alcoholic, I don't know. I just don't like the word. And when people throw that around, they're most likely just throwing it around. They've never sat down and thought about what does it actually mean. I think it's much more accurate and productive to say someone has a problem with drinking. In other words, their drinking is causing a problem in their life, and sort of go from there instead of giving them this disease thing and giving them an out and so forth and so on. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this segment. I'm not sure what I forgot to say or anything else, but I think the long and the short of it is when you have family members, loved ones, whomever, co-workers, and they are having a problem, and you do feel like you should approach them, then I would be careful what you say as far as labeling them. You know, it's one thing to go up and say, "Hey Jim, gee whiz, you've been late to work 4 times this week. You smell like, a booze store. You got a problem, pal. You need to do something about it." As opposed to, "Oh, gee whiz, Jim, you're an alcoholic." So then Jim, of course, has a reason to not come to work on time, and smell like a brewery, and so forth and so on. Anyway, I guess that's it for this segment. And as Pat Condell would say, peace.